This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
The X-Zone radio and TV show is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone radio and TV show or in any manner endorsed by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, Talkstar Radio Network, its affiliated stations, or employees.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, coming to you from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Toll-free worldwide is 1-800-610-7035. Email xzone at xzoneradiotv.com and on MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv at hotmail.com. And our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. My guest this hour is Linda Brown, and we're going to be talking to Linda about her book. It's entitled In Secret Diffusion, The Upper Realm Answers Questions About Earth. And joining me now from Clearwater, Florida is Linda Brown. Hey, Linda, welcome to the X-Zone.
Hi, Rob. Thank you. Looking forward to this.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Linda.
Well, I'm a regular person, but I've been talking to the Holy Spirit for 30 years and really keeping that a secret because when all of this psychic business started for me in 1980, it kind of created such havoc that I turned it off for 15 years, and then it came back in 1995, and I decided I wouldn't tell anybody about it because they had become so alarmed that I was going crazy that I decided it was more politic to keep it quiet. But I've been writing all along as I carried on my normal life, and now I've decided to publish a book that gives a little bit about what our conversation has been, me and the Holy Spirit. I'm a world traveler, and I like to backpack alone around the world, and made a circuit around the globe in the Northern Hemisphere in 2005, 2006. And at the time I was 67, 68 years old. I turned 68 on the journey. So I was doing it on my Social Security. So I'm a world explorer as well as an inner explorer.
When was the first time you realized in your life that you had psychic abilities?
I was around 42, and I had done a great deal of praying. I was very enthusiastic about God. Had studied religion a lot, and so I was accustomed to meditating and praying, but I had, as most of us perhaps, never thought I would get an answer back, never hear anything back. And other members of my family had more psychic ability than I did. I never really thought of myself as being psychic at all. So that was a realm that I was totally unfamiliar with. So I was kind of afraid when this all started, not having any clue about what to do, how to protect myself from maybe annoying influences that also go on within the mind, and especially when your hearing abilities are opening up, that opens you to other things that you would like to be protected from. So really, I was a baby in that avenue and don't have a strong psychic background. I still don't call myself psychic exactly because I don't quite fit that word, but it's been mostly a great deal of inner communication.
All right, Linda, please stand by. We've got to take a commercial break. Linda Brown is our guest. She's the author of In Secret Diffusion, The Upper Realm Answers Questions About Earth. Her website is www.heyboomers.com. That's www.heyboomers.com. And Linda and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break as the X Zone continues from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the Talkstar Radio Network and on the X Zone Broadcast Network. Don't go away.
Why did you have to lie? Where is the love you said was mine?
Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
I know it's out of fashion and a trifle uncool, but I can't help it. I'm a romantic fool. It's a habit of mine to watch the sun go down on Echo Beach. I watch the sun go down. From number 5, I have to spend my time.
Linda Brown is my special guest. We're talking about her new book. It's entitled In Secret Diffusion, The Upper Realm Answers Questions About Earth. Her website is www.heyboomers.com, and that's HEYBOOMERS.com. So, Linda, what was it like the very first time you realized that you were speaking or communicating one-on-one with the Holy Spirit?
Well, it's a funny little story that when I first really caught on that I was trying to be contacted by the upper realms or something, I would be sitting in the library. I lived in Aspen, Colorado then, and would go to the library quite a bit, and I always thought their light fixture must be very faulty, the fluorescent ceiling light, because I could hear this buzz, this high buzz, and never thought any more about it. And then I realized when I was in another building, they had a light fixture that must be faulty too, because I kept hearing this high-pitched sound. Finally, I focused on the sound and just listened closely to it. And gradually, it wound down to a slower rate so that I could hear some words. And it was kind of like saying, what in the world, why aren't you listening to me? Will you please listen? And I realized there was a voice making sense behind it. So that was kind of when I first got the idea that there was communication possible. And it was a lot of very complicated times, because when you open up, when you're able to hear, more than just one entity tries to get your attention. And there's a kind of a belt that I call the Green Goblin belt, maybe hovering close to Earth, in which those entities are mischievous spirits that are not going to do you any good. They're looking for a human being to drive. And so I think that all of us to whom this happens have to sort of work our way through that and not get tripped up with it. But I've always been so close to God and to the Holy Spirit that I've chit-chatted with them constantly all my life, just walking along, talking. So it was perfectly natural for me to kind of grab hold of his hand and, speak to him directly. And I've developed a conclusion that any of us who have this experience and who hear voices are actually in a position to sort of choose who it is we are speaking to, or to name the level that we're ready to accept. I talked to a woman who heard voices that upset her so much that she decided it was only her own inner self, and that she could live with. And so she talks to Claudia, her name, Claudia. So others may name it Seth or Ramtha or some of these names that we've heard. I just decided I was talking to the Holy Spirit, and sure enough, that was the confirmation. So I think that we, having free will down here, ultimately really choose the level that we talk to.
How do you know for a fact that the voice that you were hearing or communicating with was in fact the Holy Spirit? How did you confirm this?